All right, so which means that they got the right cable. They've done the calculations. They knew that they were going to induce less than 3,000 pounds while they were going at 78 miles per hour, or 80 roughly. So, and then they figured that they should get a cable that can handle 1,000 pounds more than they were going to induce on the cable, right? So that's actually really, really good thinking. So these guys were playing it safe. So obviously it wasn't the cable that snapped. So the question is what happened? Okay, so what happened is the following.
The day of this tragedy begins innocently enough.
The guy behind us give you a little nudge. Let's just get it. 3.5 feet. 3 feet.
In a nearby hotel room, group leader Steve Trotter helps prepare their homemade equipment.
This is the harness will go onto your main. The tail pulls you right off that Skyway bridge, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you a treat, folks. I guarantee you a treat.
The rest of this daredevil group is comprised of Glenn Rome, Jeff Sargent, Kenny Bunker, and Lori Martin.
It's not a guy thing or a girl thing. It's yourself thing, you know. It's whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you tick.
Woo! There's only one way to go, and that's right over the edge. Go!
Next, they ready the 200 feet of steel cable used for the pendulum swing.
That's 12 feet, Brendo.
I'm trying to figure out the distance from the bridge and as much cable as we have right now.
Just keep it taut.
We might have a little bit too much. Hey, hopefully, I know we have enough, but we're just trying to trim off what we don't need for now.
It's too heavy. I should have used the other cable. But then again, we'll all die with the other cable.
One end of the cable is attached to a 2-ton Cadillac. It'll act as their anchor on the bridge when they make the swing.
It's not going to cut very deep.
Is there a little wrench? No, I don't have any little wrenches.
Ricardo might have a wrench. The other end of the cable is connected to 5 shorter cables. These in turn attach to the seats and the group's safety harnesses.
Lock all these down with the vice grips. I need them tight.
What Steve and the others don't know is that where this main cable and the shorter cables are tightened together will be the weak point in their design.
When you come up to the bridge, it's going to be against the church barrier. So you don't have to step way high.
Wearing the life vests that act as safety harnesses, they perform their first and only rehearsal jump.
On the third belt, when it levels out, I'll go 1, 2, 3, and just wing it, man. All right, wait.
Ricardo might have a wrench. The other end.
All right, guys, they got the right cable, but the connector here is not going to be able to support a tension which is about 2,800 pounds. Okay, they should have gotten someone who understands the strength of materials there as well. So these guys got a physicist do the computations for them. So they got the numbers. Everything is correct except the connector there was supposed to have the right tolerance as well.
The cable is connected to 5. As they drive toward the Skyway Bridge, the plan is to move quickly to avoid authorities. Steve has hired a helicopter to take an aerial view of the swing. 2 boats also wait below, one to tape the events, another to rush them away before police arrive.
Go right over here, stop. A little more. Stop, go. Out. Glenn, take this. Go it. All right. Okay, they're getting ready. Everything's hooked. Everybody ready? Check your harnesses. Check all your harnesses. Okay, they're getting up. You're hooked. Stand up.
The group is ready for the jump that will change their lives forever.
On 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, get on over there.
The boats rush to the fallen jumpers, terrified of what they'll find. The scene is chaos. Lori Martin has a broken neck and has stopped breathing. Glenn Rome also has broken his neck, but that doesn't stop him from administering CPR.
Get us out. Don't do this to me. Come on.
The other injuries are also severe. Jeff Sargent has been knocked unconscious, and Steve Trotter has 4 broken ribs and a punctured lung. Only Kenny Bunker has escaped uninjured.
Come on, cameraman, help me.
The wounded 5 are either lifted or struggle to pull themselves into the boat. Mercifully, as they speed toward shore, Lori Martin's breathing returns to normal.
Keep breathing. Why is that big break, Hunter? Breathe. We're alive, my girl. We're alive.
In minutes, more than 50 rescue workers will tend to their injuries and transport them to the hospital. And though they'll all make a full recovery, the memory of that fall will haunt them forever.
When I heard that noise, let me tell you, no one knew what that noise was. But I knew what it was. It was a cable and the harness just disconnected. We were probably going over 80 miles an hour. We hit the water, and hitting that water was like hitting a ton of bricks.
And how has this brush with death changed these high-flying thrill seekers?
Definitely goes into the collection of stupid things that I've done. That's for sure. I don't know what to say. I look at it, and I can't even believe I did something like that.
Yes, it's about 78 miles per hour right there.
Time heals all.
I don't know if you remember the numbers.
No, that's how I look at it. I will be back to Tampa.
78 miles per hour right there. It's going to be 91 miles per hour right there. Okay, we've done the calculations before. And next week, you'll learn how to do these calculations using a much better method. Previously, we were using free fall,
When I
projectile motion.
heard that noise, let me tell you.
So that's going to be next week. All right, pick out the best answer. And then put it in the chat. Okay, very good. Steve's the best answer, so give yourselves 5 points for that one. Okay, so it is easier to tell the primary station because it's tension. Okay, very good. A is the best answer, so give yourselves 5 points for that one. And
Be brutal and punishing
okay, so how do you figure out the speed required to complete the loop-to-loop?
run. One of the hooters is Ryan's boss, Brian Schaefer. Brian owns the skate park and is the tournament's organizer. Brian decides to get in on the action and try his luck at the loop.
He gave it a few attempts, and at first he didn't make it very far, but he made a couple that I think if the pads weren't there, then he would have made it.
But as Brian continues to practice, his runs become more disastrous. The padding is pulled away, and several riders nail the loop. Now the pressure is on for Brian.
I was anxious because I wanted to do it. I was nervous because I knew how dangerous it was.
Brian takes off and falls short.
The whole crowd was like, yeah, putting their hands together. Come on, Brian, go do it again. Give it another try, that type of thing.
Come on, Brian, this is the one.
He was thinking, hey, it's now or never, and I was thinking the same thing.
Brian steps up and goes for a ride that no one will ever forget.
The impact was just tremendous. You could hear it from where I was standing. I was probably about 30 feet away. And as soon as he fell, it was dead silence. And then the first thing I heard was, paramedic! I grabbed the microphone and just cleared the crowd.
Everybody back up, move it up.
I just saw like, well, maybe he'll be okay. He'll get up in a second. Until I walked up there and realized he was out. His neck was kind of crooked, and he was just laying there totally limp.
Brian's dad, Bill, is in the audience.
They worked on him on a ramp for a while. He was totally unconscious and looked bad. When I saw him hit the deck, I felt that he hurt himself pretty bad. Just by the angle and the way he fell down. I was feeling more afraid that he would be paralyzed.
Brian's in bad shape. Medics know they must be careful with his neck. One wrong move could cost Brian his life. After they stabilize him, medics carefully wheel Brian to an ambulance and then rush to a Tampa trauma center. Incredibly, Brian suffers only a concussion and a broken hand. It was fate that spared his spinal cord from massive injuries. Although the accident threw Brian's memory for a loop, he can still recall his fateful ride.
Going into it, I just remember like feeling like this is the one. I come down the ramp and realizing I was a little too far to the right, which basically threw me a little off course. But I had no idea that, it would have been as dramatic or as bad of a fall as it was. But I was pretty shocked to see how fortunate I was to come out of it and not possibly being paralyzed. I think I have something to refer back to now to realize how fortunate I am and to take advantage of life as much as possible and don't take life for granted.